Whew, that was a long section, wasn't it? Well, congratulations on getting to the end of it. I've needed to keep this section within 100 videos for various technical reasons to do with the way we produce videos, but actually it's just about exactly the right time to finish this section, but not to finish the development of the game. Let me explain what I mean by that. When you do the next section, I'm going to want you to come back and continue to add to Battletang. And I'm going to want you to do the same thing with Building Escape, which I'll talk you through in a moment. So firstly, let's just recap what we've done in Battletang. We've worked on landscapes, terrain. You saw a trick for making low poly terrain. We've talked about NavMesh bounds volumes. We've talked about making noise in the land and raising and lowering terrain, a whole bunch of stuff like that. We've looked at the AI system, or at least had a little glance into that, and we've already modified the AI system, intercepting that request direct move call there, so that the tanks driven by the AI have to move just like our player tanks do, which makes things super fair. If you just let the AI drive it on its own, these tanks move around in a really kind of robotic, rigid sort of way, which is not great. You've learned user interface for the first time, so please go back to Building Escape and add some user interface. You've learned a lot more about C++ and Blueprint and what goes where, right? Hopefully you feel now that you know when to do things in C++, basically, most of the time, and when it's appropriate to be using Blueprint, when you're referencing assets or when you're doing something that's very visual by nature or UI related. And then finally, you've learned a whole ton more C++, haven't you? Congratulations on that. It's a tough language, it's a tough engine. You've done really, really well. And hopefully you've even had a whiff of a game architecture. You understand a little bit more about what it takes to put a more complex game together. So what I'd like you to do now as a final challenge is, just before you go on to the next section, go and dust off Building Escape for me. And I've got a few little notes over there as to what I'd like you to do. So number one, consider putting your project under version control. Get it set up under Git now that you've got some idea how to make that work. Add a start menu to at least a Building Escape, so you don't just dive into the game like that. Create at least one new puzzle using something you've learned in this section. I don't mind what it is, whether it's the line tracing or whether it's something to do with AI, I don't mind, but make another puzzle and show us what you've made over in the community.gamedev.tv forum, and we'd love to see how you've improved Building Escape. It feels great to go back to those old projects and improve them. Add some landscape around the room, right? The room's just sitting there floating in midair. Why not put a landscape around it this time? And consider a projectile-based puzzle. I'm saying add another puzzle. One of those things you could do is use projectiles. Maybe you have to hit a switch on the wall, something like that. And maybe you can even make some improvements to the overall code and architecture of the game. So please go back, spend a little while, as long as you like. I don't mind if you spend half an hour or half a month going back and improving Building Escape. But that will really cement your learning, because it's easy, kind of easy to follow through Battletang, just doing what I do, right? Monkey say, monkey do. And that's great. I'm sure you're doing the challenges. I really hope you are. But even going through and doing the challenges is not quite the same as completely reapplying that knowledge to a previous, to a previous project. So I hope you've enjoyed the section. Go improve Building Escape, and then I'll see you in the next section.